Good evening, all. Ira Epstein with your financial market update, and this update is for Thursday, the 30th of June, 2022, the end of a quarter. We'll be at the end of the week tomorrow as we get into our holiday period for America. Happy birthday for the 4th of July. And with it, I have a special offer before I go into the review tonight. 2 for 1. Buy any subscription that I have, one of my research subscriptions. And when you do so, just click on the link in this video, and all you got to do is move right up here. 2 for 1. You buy one, you'll then at the end of your purchase, it'll ask you who do you want to give the other one to. Give us the info for that person. It could be their email address, their name. It'll be good enough. We might write you and get the phone number. It'll be there. That's all we need. We're going to let them know that you bought them a gift, and we will start you and theirs at the same time, and away you go for it, all right? I don't do this often. It should be very successful. I hope you take advantage of it. 2 for 1 special. So now let's talk about the day, because the day was an interesting day and then another capitulation. So we saw the first half of the year in the S&P go to historic breaking point, just a big break. A lot of people did not believe me as I was in this year, saying, I think that you have made tops, and I think you're going to get a big break, and I think we're in a recession-type market. My advertisement said most people don't know how to trade bear markets. I've been trying to bring you into that, and you may argue, but you're in one. Yes, you will get rallies along the way, and they can at times be sharp. But just the way that we had breaks in the bull market, and you had them, they were short-lived breaks and the market went back. And in bear markets, you get rallies, they're short-lived, and you seem to go down and make new lows on the break. Until it's over, the party's not over. In fact, I love the party because to me, it doesn't matter if I'm long, short, sideways. If there's a trade setup, I'm going to try to present it to you. It's that simple. On the energies, they've broken back in them, but why not? You know, we're sitting here in a market that, if you look at copper, is a great example. It's not sitting here at 4.25, 4.5. It's almost broken back 20%, 25% in price. All right, that's telling you that the factories are not humming. Did you hear what I said? And factories use electricity. So do you need as much of this? I've got my doubts. We know that in gasoline and other markets, people say, it's not price sensitive. It is price sensitive. You can't change that you got to drive to work if that's what you do. But you can change if you're going to get in that car and drive 1,000 miles to see family at this time of the year. That plan can change. Food inflation, energy inflation, it's all here. And regular inflation is seen in the core. You saw that today. What is it, 4.7 or so? Still very, very strong. So as I take a look at some of these markets, I'm going to come back this way. At the S&P, here we are down 3.5% at this point for the week, but it's been a continual break. It's just over and over. For the month, it's a huge break that we had, a double-digit break in these markets. Away you go there. As we take a look at the bar chart here, as I said, we had one of these things where we had a bounce in the market, and I had questions if you were ever going to be up into that resistance point. And as it turns out, you don't have a trend. What we have on this chart is a lower low and a higher high. Yes, the overall pattern is down, but you didn't make new lows on the move. You're sitting here fighting with yourself, if you will. Where did the market run out of momentum on the upside? Right to that 18-day average of closes. Learn how to work with the 18-day average, especially when you had in place a market that hit lower Bollinger Bands, that had tried to embed, loses it, and you get that rally. This does not mean you have to go through these lows. You can fight here now. You're past the having to sell at the end of the quarter. So you're going to get some violent swings that could easily happen. I don't see smart money, quote unquote, whatever that you think that might mean. I know what it means. Trying to establish new positions tomorrow, not having control of what they're doing until markets reopen and the cash in the stock market on Tuesday. I think the smart money says just what I'm telling you. Tomorrow morning, I know when I finish my Spider ETF subscriber video, I'm hopping in my car. I've got things to do tomorrow all day. I'm not even writing my morning update. And I'll be telling my people that tonight. I've got to make a trip somewhere. I'll be back later in the day, but enjoy it. It's the holiday. All I can do is get in trouble watching the markets. In the NASDAQ, it's the same thing. Oversold, hit the bands, rallied to the 18-day and ran out of momentum. In the Dow, same thing. You can see what you did, rallied up there and failed one more time. Russell, same. And I said that along the way. I've been here guiding you on it, saying this is what I'll call a contra-trend move. Why? Because as long as you're under the 18-day average, the bias is down. So when you get these rallies up there, it's just relieving pressure. Now the question is, can we get a setup that is bearish or bullish? I wait for it to develop. In the VIX, you went down to the combination and looking back at it of the 100 and the 18-day average. And I said, if it's going to break through here, is it going to go to the 200? That would be even under these lows. And I was very clear. I said, I don't think so. What's going to make the market want to do that? And it didn't do that. Because if you break there, it's very bullish, the stock market. Why would the stock market be bullish now? We're now going to be July 1st tomorrow. The Fed's getting ready for 75 basis point hike. Europe is getting ready under the European Central Bank for at least a 25 basis point hike. Bank of England's already told you how bad things are. They're going to be doing theirs. The only person, or the only country, I should say, person being the head of the central bank in Japan, they are still at the other end of the spectrum. They are still trying to keep an easy money policy. Now, we're getting a nice rally in the bonds, and we're getting it in the notes. Okay, I elected not to try to even catch this. And in all fairness, I couldn't have. The way the pattern's set up, the only buy would have been right here, and the risk was back there. It was way too much money. And then I said, if you look at the weekly charts, we're still under the 18-week average of closes. And you have a market that's getting overbought. Let the other guys own it. I'll walk away in this one. Same thing here in the 10-year. Yes, you're in an uptrend right now on the dailies, not on the weeklies. So it's noise in the longer term of the market, the trend, because the weekly's the bigger market, obviously, as you look at it. In the dollar index, I don't know if you're going to go up to that upper Bollinger Band just here. There's some divergence. You have a market with a lower low, a higher high. Why would I want to trade that at all? I think the thing you do is you're waiting. You would hit the Bollinger Band 3 times. You broke back to the 18-day average and you're holding. There is a time when you put your hand in your pockets and you go, no, I'm not going to push that button to buy or sell. It's the hardest thing because everybody wants, quote unquote, action. Action gets you in trouble. You're going to get all the action you want when you think a trade makes sense. You don't trade for the sake of trading. People get in trouble fast that way. Eurocurrency, does that look like a trend to you? No. You had a contra-trend rally up to the 18-day average, correcting an oversold condition, and you don't have a trend. When you broke, it was almost a vertical price break. There's nothing right there. The British pound is in a downtrend, but it's got divergence right here. Momentum is flat, trying to pick up, price action down. I think the pros will probe the short side of this market at 122.79. They'll be wrong if you get over 123.41. And barring that, that's pretty much what I think they're going to try to do. In Bitcoin, here you are at 18,795. So as long as you've been embedded, how many of you get out there my paid subscription? Are you in this market short? Embedded reading again. By the way, going home, what's the only position I have going into tomorrow? Paid subscribers, you know what it is. And you can see what the market has been doing. Brent versus WTI oil. Okay, differential pretty strong. Now, today OPEC Plus said they're going to go up to 648,000 barrels a day. How? They haven't told me how they're going to do it. They're going to increase by that amount. They can't do the 400,000. Have you read the IEA and the other numbers? The shortfall that all along has been happening from OPEC Plus? It's there. So it's wonderful to say we're going to authorize that and that's fine. How do you get to the number? The UAE said maybe it's got 100 to 150,000 barrel a day extra capacity. Maybe the Saudis. Can they make up the whole difference? I doubt they even want to. But I know President Biden's going to run hand in hand to the Saudis mid-month, and he'll be talking about this, and he'll say, hey, they did listen. They increased production to 648. Hey, why not make it 1 million? If you can't hit the 648,000, why don't we say 1 million barrels? Why not? I don't see why not. If you can't hit the number, just make it any number you want. So the market today on the energy broke on that news. It goes, oh, we're going to get more Saudi oil, more UAE oil. That's going to make up the difference. Of course, Libya, Ecuador, Russia, all this oil that's got a problem right now. Why did Gazprom, did you read about that? The huge Russian firm, not pay a dividend. Their stock fell nearly 30% today. Didn't Russia say that revenue-wise, they are making as much money as they did before the Ukrainian invasion? And yet, here's their big oil company not going to pay a dividend. Something isn't right. When there's smoke like that, there's fire somewhere. I don't know what it is. I don't pretend to. But the energy market looked at it, and you tell me if these markets didn't fall and fall fairly hard today. Part of it is that Gazprom news. Really, is that what Russia's got going on? Again, just like China, do you think they tell the truth with all this? I don't know. They're selling to India. They're selling to China. That's their new in-bed partners. Nat gas coming down. We need that first hot spell that we haven't seen. When you get it, the market will take off. It'll maybe pause at the 100-day average, and then it'll go for the 18 on the first big rally. And I say big because the price is nearly cut 50%. Hard to believe. I know. Just look, this is 10, so let's take it at the 9, whatever it is, 960 level. And here you are pushing right now tonight at 556. So comfortably, $3.5, $4 break, almost a 50% break in price. Wow. It's ripe for out of left field, something like that happening. Just be careful. You don't want to sell breaks in this market. You want to now be very, very careful off breaks of this size. So when I look at it all, I want to remind you the 4th of July special. Just move your cursor up, click the link up here, take advantage. You and a friend, great way to do it. It's going to be over right after the 4th, so you want to take advantage of it now. I'm Ira. You have a good day.